Hello everyone and welcome back to Resume U. My name is Courtney and in today's video we're going to be correcting one of your guys' resumes. We got a submission to have their resume be corrected, so we're going to go through that today from top to bottom. So be sure to stay till the end, as well as hit that subscribe button, as we're going to be posting videos weekly here about tips and tricks on resume building, as well as follow us on LinkedIn where we have articles as well as other content. So be sure to catch all that out and let's get on with it. Okay, so we got a submission from one of our followers asking if they could have their resume be corrected. So we're gonna go through that from top to bottom. So I am screen recording on my iPad here. We're gonna pop up what I see right here. But a lot of this is gonna be, some of it's a bit altered just because we want to keep this person's identity anonymous. So some of these things are a little bit tweaked, but this was in general kind of how it was sent to me. So we're gonna go through top to bottom, kind of like how I did when I was a career assistant. We're gonna see if this would get approved or not. So this resume, first off, would not be approved. So let's get into it on why. So first things first here, we are at 2 pages. Now, this is one of those things where it's important that when you export it, sometimes it reads 1 page when you are in the doc actively. If you're writing in a Word doc or if you're doing it elsewhere, it would do it in 1 page when you're actively working in it. But then when you export it out to a PDF or a Word doc or whatever, it may have 1 line crossover to that 1 page, and just make sure, but have that 1 line crossover to 2 pages. So you do not want that to happen. So just make sure that you're double checking when you export that it still maintains its 1 page limit there, because we do not want to cross 2 pages in case you guys have something very important and the recruiters didn't see that because it's on the 2nd page. So make sure to export it. When it exports, it's actually exporting the 1 page. First things first, we're going to look at the contact information here. So what I can see is that they have their full address on here. So your full address is not necessary. You just need your location. So that's in city state format, which is what's kind of, like I said, anonymous, where you get that listed there. Again, they have 2 phone numbers. You do not need 2 phone numbers at all. You can just keep it to 1. So that would be the most direct way to reach you. So if that way is by your cell phone, then list your cell phone. If it is by your house phone, then list your house phone. So whatever is the most direct way to reach you, you can put that there. And the email itself is perfectly fine. It's professional email, casual, nothing to, it doesn't sound embarrassing when you say it out loud. So that's fine. And the name itself, it's bolded, it's fine. I probably would make the name a little bit bigger, but this is overall, that's pretty good there. So make those changes to your contact info. Okay, next we're scrolling down to education here. So obviously, again, anonymous. So when you have your college, university, you see it's below the major, you want that above. So list your university first, and then the 2nd line of your education, or even a comma next to it, should be your school. But when I say by school, some universities have like School of Business, School of Liberal Arts, or whatever. If whatever you're part of, if your major is a part of one of those, list that there next to your university with a comma or on the 2nd line. Next, I see that they just have their major as English Creative Writing. So that's good, but we do not know what degree you are receiving. So are you receiving a Bachelor of Arts? Are you receiving a Bachelor of Liberal Arts? You want to make sure you're specifying that there. So make sure to include that. Political science minor, fine. Now, don't need to put in progress. Instead, put expected graduation date. So put your graduation date and then month, year. So if it's May 2025 or December 2024, list that. GPA is very good. It's above a 3.5, so it wants to be there. It can be there. And then next thing we'll make sure to list is location. So again, just putting a city state format there. I think that just about covers it. think that about covers what you overall really need. An option, and we'll link the formatting video up above. This was when I went through all the sections that go in a resume in particular. So relevant coursework can go under there as well. So if you have any courses that you've done that are related, you can list that there. Okay, so right off the bat, I see there's some experience that can be put into a relevant experience tab. So you have an internship, and then you have your section as a writer, and since you're a creative writing major, that should definitely be in its own section, separated from just the general work experience. When you think work experience, think of it as part-time gigs, which they have a lot of here as well, which is great. So first thing, I would definitely make sure you could separate that. Next thing I would say, do not put any supervisor names or references names or phone numbers. Do not list any contacts on your resume. It's not necessary, and it takes up space where you can use it elsewhere. So again, these are all people's identities. We're keeping it hidden, and phone numbers are hidden. So with that, take them out. Just take them out of your resume. They do not need to be in there at all. You do not need any references upon request. You do not need references on your resume. Just take them out. So you can use that elsewhere, like in your bullet points. Okay, moving on. So they have their job title there, the company name. You do not need a full address either for your experience sections. You could just, again, list city, state. And then one thing I'm also noticing is how the dates are inconsistent. So your dates should consistency is super important when it comes to your resume. So if you're gonna you wanna list it as month year. So you can have it list month year like they have it here, where it's actually numbers, or you can have it spelled out or abbreviated. So you can put MAR for March, dot the year. And that's fine too, but notice how they have their dates with month year, but then they have just the years on their final one. So be consistent there. So just make sure all your dates are the same formatting and also have a month year. Okay, next thing I noticed is their bullet points. They just have one bullet point. Now that doesn't really tell me a lot, and it's also they could basically make 2 bullet points out of some of these because they just separated tabs with a comma. So just think 1 bullet point is 1 task. So with that, I would elaborate more, especially on the writing and internship experience. If you're a creative writing major and you wrote articles in that internship, it looks like, I would definitely make sure to specify and expand upon that. We just did a video about bullet point description, so I will link that above as well. So you want at least 3 to 4 bullet points for that. And then, let's see. Also, another thing is their verb tensing. So verb tenses is also very important. That means past tense for past jobs, present tense for current experience. So they have current experience here, and then they have those in current current verb tense, but they don't have the writing job in past tense on where it should be. All right, we're gonna go right now to honors and awards. Moving on. So we see this person made Dean's List. Congratulations. But we don't know what semester she made Dean's List. So I would make sure to specify semesters. And if you did make Dean's List, that can also go under your education as well. So this is an option to list it, but you can also do it there. Your Sigma Tau Delta, if I said that correctly, that is also good. You will also need dates for that too. And I would honestly put that in an activity section because it can, if you're a president, I'm assuming you do a lot of roles with that. So I would definitely put it in activity or even relevant experience if you do more with it. So consider that. So the National Achievement Scholarship, I would definitely make sure to put dates for that when you received it. Or President Scholarship, same thing, received when. AP Scholar, Um, I'm not sure if that's a high school thing, but if it is a high school thing, I would remove anything you have from high school. So just looking right here, I can see you have high school newspaper and high school literacy magazine in there, and then you have the hockey player. I would just get rid of it. So I would just get completely, sorry, I scratched the mic. I would just completely get rid of it because it's not really relevant anymore. You don't want anything from high school in there. You're fine if you want to put stuff that's like work experience. So just backtracking a bit, for the youth hockey instructor and then the referee wise, like that's fine if you want to keep in there because they're work experience, but again, it's not necessary. So same with sandwich artists, it's not necessary. You may find yourself having to cut those out to make room for your bullet point descriptions that you'll add. So just keep that in mind. But in general, anything from high school that we see here, so like I said, the journalism summer workshop, I'm assuming that was a high school thing. If it is from high school, just take it out. The hockey league player, house league hockey player thing, just take it out. High school paper, take it out. High school literacy magazine, take it out. It seems like you're more into your college years at this point. High school should not be anywhere associated with your resume anymore, so I will definitely make sure to remove that if possible. And then personal achievements and personal enrichment achievements. So again, this is your activity section, that's fine. So news editor to me is, I think it's relevant to your major as a creative writing major, so I will definitely move that to your relevant experience section, and move that up top. Editorial board, if you were very active in that could also be relevant experience, so I would consider adding descriptions for that as well. So you very well could be getting rid of a lot of that work experience that you have in there to make room for this. College band member, that's perfect. And then again, these 3 bullet points right here, you have to get rid of the second page anyway, but I would just get rid of those 3 bullet points. So that is all you have, but one thing I see that you're missing is the skills section, so that is definitely important to include there. So just make sure you have any sort of skills that you are familiar with. So in your case with writing, if you are familiar with a certain stylistic of writing, so if there's AP style, if you're Chicago style, if there's a certain style, or if you can do any languages or whatever, list that in your skills section too. Overall, because that's definitely just things you want to highlight too. Okay, I'm trying to think, you guys, if there's anything that I am missing when looking at this resume. One thing I did notice too in your experience, you did put it in reverse chronological order, so great job there, where it's the most current on top and then the oldest on the bottom. But again, you may have to cut all those work experiences out to make room for those things I just pointed out there. Alrighty guys, that is going to be a wrap for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me in reviewing this resume. It was really kind of a great refresher for me, as this is what I did on a daily basis when I was in college, was reviewing resumes and stuff. So it kind of brought back memories when I was doing this there. So thank you guys so much again. Just be sure to hit that subscribe button as we're posting videos weekly. So stay tuned for next week, you guys. We're going to go through a bit more about what to do once your resume is done and everything. So we're going to go through tips on that. You guys have a great rest of your day and see you guys next week. Bye.